we go. So you can't see me, but through the come on, why aren't you paging down? There we go. So there's a picture of me, so you know who's speaking to you. And that's it. I'm an account manager with Weiss Financial Ratings, and I work assisting patrons and libraries to grow the knowledge of the database, how to use it, and also try to find new subscribers for the database. Okay. So Weiss Financial Ratings, we do the financial strength and investment ratings. We're independent, unbiased, and accurate. And we're here to help you navigate your finances. What the database helps you do is direct you to financially secure banks, credit unions, and insurance companies. We help you find best performing investments and show you stocks or mutual funds that should be avoided. And then there are some personal how-to guides to help you get started in the right direction. And we'll take a look at that in a minute once we get onto the actual database. So the financial strength ratings and safety ratings, that's for the banks and the credit union and insurance companies. And for both the investment and the safety ratings, we use the same grading system. So the A, B, C, D, and E. So excellent, good, fair, weak, and very weak. And then for the investment ratings, same thing, stocks, mutual funds, and exchange traded funds, the same thing with the ratings. And you'll see when we go in and look at that, you'll see things that are green and yellow and red, those the bars of the charts. So for banks and credit unions, you can what the database does is it helps you to find out the financial strength of your bank or credit union, locate financially secure banks and credit unions in your area, and then also help you to avoid the hassle of dealing with a failing bank or credit union. You know, it doesn't happen often, but it has happened. And, you know, with everything that's going on right now with the economy, there may be a few banks or credit unions that do fall out. Don't know, but it's something to be looking at, and I'll show you how you can look up your bank or credit union, make sure that at the end of the day that your money is safe. With insurance companies, you also want to make sure that they're financially stable, and we can look that up. And then you want to have the most financially secure insurance company for whatever it is, whether it's a homeowner's insurance, car insurance, life insurance, whatever it is that you're looking for, you'll be able to find what works best for you and know that they're going to be there for you. So when it comes to the stocks, what we do, those letter grades refer to buy, hold, and sell. So the A, B are buys, the C's, that yellow, is a hold, and then the reds are sell. So those are investment ratings for 11,000 stocks traded in the U.S. Only 1,001 stocks make our grade for a buy rating, and when we get into that, you'll see that there's nowhere near 1,000 stocks rated as a buy right now, and that has to do with the current economy. You can locate stocks by their rating, the industry, total return, and more, and we'll take a look at that. And it just helps you to find safer stock investments and shows you which ones to avoid. Again, the same thing with mutual funds. You'll find when we get in there that they're going to look a lot, they'll look the same. Buy, hold, sell investment ratings for 26,000 mutual funds and 2,100 ETFs, that's exchange traded funds. Only 3,600 mutual funds make the grade for a buy rating. And again, you're going to be able to locate funds by a rating, a minimum initial investment, a fund family, and more. And it helps you to find the best performing mutual funds to maximize your retirement savings. One thing I'll say, just I'm thinking of it right now. If you have a question, just unmute yourself and ask. There's only a few of us here, so it's not a big deal. So please interrupt me if you have a question as we're going along. So the finance how-to guides, there's just a few things I think that you have in your subscription. We'll take a look at that once we get in there. But there are some different like worksheets and things that will help you find some of the stuff that you may be looking for, whether it's in insurance or something. And so that's what those do. And then let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out here and go to your I wrote it down. Where did I write it down? There it is. Show you from your website how you can get onto the database. So here's the Berlin-Peck Memorial Library website, which you can just pull up at home. And then you want to click on databases. And here we go, down to investments and click on Weiss Ratings. And you're going to come to, all right, so I logged in earlier, so it's already got me in here. And I can't log out. So one of the things that you may want to do, and I'll show you how to do this, is create a personal account. So I'm going to click here on sign up, and it wants to put in my work stuff. So I'm going to put in my name, and then email address. It's already being, no, it isn't. And then create a password. Now, as you see over here, your contact information is not going to be shared. We'll never contact you. And you won't be billed for anything. The only thing that we do with this is, and you'll see when we get into the actual database, is you can create watch lists. And if you create a watch list, if you put stocks or a bank or mutual funds in your watch list, if there's a change in the rating, you'll get an email from Weiss saying that the rating has changed, whether it's upgraded or downgraded. But again, we don't save this for anything, and you won't hear from us or from advertisers or anything else. So, and then you would just click sign up here. So, but I am not going to do this because I am not a card holder at the library. So, but that's what you would do. So you would just click on sign up here. This page would come up, and then when you go to log in, you just log in with your email address and your password every time. So let's go back to the home page here. And so here we have about, so you can look at about the financial rating series, get a little bit more information, what the ratings mean, and really dig into some information there. And next we'll take a look at the financial literacy tools. So here are these planning tools. I'll click on that for a minute for you so you can see what these do. So if you clicked on this, download this, it would give you a document that you could start putting information into to start beginning to plan your prescription drug Part D for Medicare. So just something, if that's where you are in life, you need to do that, then that's what that is for. If you want to start looking at long-term care, if you think that's something you're going to need down the road, you could start looking at that, download this, and it would help you out. Same thing with life insurance. this is great. This is for auto insurance. You could, put together a worksheet, and then based on the information you're getting from different insurance companies, put them side by side, and then use the actual insurance tab to look at the safety rating for those insurance companies. Same thing with homeowners insurance. If you're looking to change out your homeowners insurance or something, get a better rate, but you also want to make sure that you're going to get a company that is financially stable. So using this to compare your quote between the different companies that you're looking at, and then use the database to find the safest company. So we've logged in here. Now I got to bounce back over to the presentation. So what we did was we went to the website, we clicked on, actually it's databases or resources, then databases, and then we got to the Weiss ratings and then logged you in. The way you would log in, which it didn't do, is it's going to come up and it's going to ask you for your library card number. So on your library card, there is a number there, and you would just have put that in there. So when you go into the database, you're going to want to be looking for information. So the first one we're going to look at is banks, and it talks about building a screener. So let's get back over to here, and we're going to click on banks. And here are here's the screen that comes up. Every day there is a bank of the day, and this is showing you, it's got an A rating, and it's showing you across here why it's getting an A rating. So for capitalization, it's excellent. For its asset quality, it's good. Great profitability, liquidity is fair, and stability is excellent. So when we're looking at banks, there's a couple things you can do. You could just type in the name of your bank here if you're just checking on your personal bank, but perhaps maybe you're new to the area and you need a new bank, or you're looking to do some financing and you don't want to do it through the bank that you're currently banking with. At any rate, you could either type in the name of a bank here, or if you're kind of searching, you could build a screener. Now, we click here, anywhere here, and the screener comes up, but it's only looking at banks with an A rating. And so we probably want to look at a little bit bigger group than that. Anything from an A plus to a B minus would be good. So we've got that, but then we need to add some criteria, because you want to find a bank that it has branches in Connecticut. So we click add criteria, and we're going to come down here and say states with branches, and it's going to ask me for something else, which is the state, and we're going to click right here on Connecticut. So now we have, we are looking at all of the banks with branches in Connecticut. So there's 41 banks with branches in Connecticut that have a rating of A plus to a B minus. So let's see, you guys are in Berlin. I don't know that we're going to come up with anything. Let's just, well, that's not going to happen. So let's just look at the Savings Bank of Danbury, at least is in Connecticut. So because I'm creating a screener, doing a lot of different things, clicking here and clicking there to create this information, and now I'm going to go into looking directly at this Savings Bank of Danbury. The program is saying, do you want to leave this site? Your changes may not be saved. So it's not so much the site, it's this screener. Do you want to leave this screener? But and if this is something that you were going to be doing a lot of, you were constantly going to be looking up banks in Connecticut, then maybe you would want to save it. And to do that, in order to do that, you would want to come here and save it. So you would want to create this, name this the screener, and then click save. But let's just take a look at this Bank of Danbury. So it comes up with the page, the summary page here, and again gives you all of the information of why it's got that rating. Talks about the major rating factors here, some other rating factors, and then the asset mix. So so this asset's got good asset quality, and that's based on this mix of assets. So 44% of home mortgages, commercial real estate securities, home equity insurance, commercial loans, cash, consumer loans, and other. It gives you information of the corporate address. If you wanted to look them up on their website, you could do that. Even gives you a phone number to call, and gives you some more information. You could look up the history. You could do an industry comparison, see where they rank against their peers. This is very good, and on every page that we go to, you'll find the glossary here in this list. So, you know, if you didn't know really what an adjustable rate mortgage was, you could look that up. You know, as long as you just look it up alphabetically. So, total assets, total liabilities, trust company, liquidity index. This tells you what goes into this this index, this measure that they're giving you, the ratio. So just a great deal of information always available to you. And one of the things that we try to do with everything that Weiss produces, whether it's through our database or the print materials that we provide, it's all looking to increase financial literacy. And that's not to say that people are financially illiterate, but just to make them more savvy with regard to their finances and all of the things that play into that. So it could be things like investments. It could be where you do your banking, the insurance companies you're working with, anything that we can do to add. All of the information here adds to that. It's available to you to keep on educating yourself with respect to your finances, so that you're always making the most informed decisions when it comes to your finances. So,
can I ask a question? I sent in a question. I thought that maybe you'd be able to see it, but perhaps not.
On the chat, no, because I've got this pushed up. I can't see it. I apologize.
That's fine. So I was wondering if your rating when it comes to banks has to do also with their stock, if it's a buy or sell, or is it a good place to bank?
This, on the safety rating side, it's for banking. You could look at, because there are bank stocks, so we could look up like Bank of America. We could look it up. If I typed in, well, I'll do it, Bank of America, and you'll see.
So that would be a different search. If you're looking specifically at like this Danbury Bank, the A- has nothing to do with the stock.
No, it's just as an institution to deposit your money.
Okay.
Okay. And so, yeah, there are going to be banks that would appear two ways: under the safety rating as an institution for banking, and then as a stock. So, and when you're looking, if you were just looking up, like I did, Bank of America, as you saw that, let's see if this will come up again. It came up as a stock. Let me go back here. Type it in again. So here you see Bank of America Corporation. We have stocks investment ratings, and then we have banks safety ratings.
Okay.
You all can see that on your screens?
Now, can I ask you a question? I personally don't keep money in the bank. I believe it needs to be in the stock market. I know that not everybody agrees with me, but money sitting in the bank, if you have over $250,000 in the bank, that's a problem. But because you're not making any money. But why is the bank safety important? I'm sorry if it sounds a weird question, but all banks need to be FDIC insured, aren't they?
Correct, but it's up to a certain, it's insured to a certain number, and I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but they're insured to pay
200,
out that much.
right. It's insured to $250,000 per account, or 500,000 if it's a joint account. But I don't think that it's right to have that kind of money sitting in
No.
anything that the bank has to offer you. That's
Yep.
why I'm wondering, because what the bank offers you doesn't even keep with cost of living or inflation. So I'm just wondering, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, why is it important because I never looked into a safety of a bank thinking, I don't keep a lot of money there. It's FDIC insured. Um, I guess I'm wondering why is that important, because that's something I never thought of as important.
Yep. And to be honest, I don't have the correct answer for you, and I would never have $250,000 sitting in a bank either. Um, it may have more to do with the bank that holds your mortgage on your house. But I don't really know. I will get the answer and funnel it through Carrie, and then, unless this is Carrie, then you'll get it directly. But yes, I will get the answer for you.
Because I'm curious, I've never thought that that's something that is important to know.
Oops, I can't hear you.
I said, I thank you. I appreciate that. I never thought that it's something that is important to me, the rating of a bank.
Yep,
I want a bank with no fees.
exactly.
Um,
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So one of the things that I mentioned before, that if you create a personal account, you can create watch lists, and this little star here and this little kind of flag thing, banner, you would just click on that and it would automatically add it to the your watch list. But you have to have created your own account and then logged in under your account. You can just go in using your library card anytime you want, but you can't do things like save screeners or, create a watch list. So I think that is it. If we go back over to the presentation, I think the next thing it's going to want to tell us is searching for insurance. So, what the heck? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. That's why. All right. So, just to click back over here, this is to do a credit union would be the same as the bank in terms of searching for one. You could type it in up here. If you knew the name of your credit union, you just type it in. If you're looking for one and you want to build a screener, you would do it the same exact way. Creating a little bit bigger universe, and then add criteria. The big difference with credit unions versus banks is, instead of states with branches, it's just state. Credit unions apparently don't cross state lines. You could find a Bank of America branch anywhere in the country. It doesn't matter what state you're in. But in this case, I actually bank with a credit union. It's Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. You can only find it here in New York, and even more than that, you can only find it here in the Hudson Valley. So but other, there's the Texas State Teachers Credit Union or something. So I'm pretty sure you can find that all over the state of Texas, but that's the only place you're going to find it is in the state of Texas. So as you're looking for a credit union, you would select state and then add criteria, and then again select Connecticut. And as you see, there's only 92 credit unions in the state of Connecticut. So, and then we just would sort them from the highest rank down to the lowest. And there's just 10, it looks like, within this. So there's 92 credit unions in Connecticut and just 10 that have a very good rating. So any questions on that? All right, I'm going to move on to insurance companies. So again, it's going to look the screens you'll see look a lot alike. So we have the insurer of the day, which is Niagara Life and Health Insurance Company. They list some insurance companies with ratings changes. And these are the strongest ones that they're listing, but we're just going to go ahead. And again, we want to build a screener for insurance companies. And what this is giving us, the ratings distribution. So I'm just going to make this nice. And so we're looking at this grouping of the A+ through B- rated insurance companies. So for right now, we're looking at 1,184 insurance companies with the good, excellent, or good rating. But these are all types of insurance companies, and they're all over the country. So we need to narrow that down. So that's what building a screener does for you. And this is something probably more so than maybe a little bit more than banks. You want to take a look at. So say like for your homeowners insurance, one of the things that was very interesting was when they were having all the wildfires in California, a statistic came out that for every dollar of premiums these insurance companies took in, they were paying out $1.70 in claims. So they're upside down by 70 cents for every dollar. And, with lots and lots of claims against a particular insurance company, how many of those insurance companies could withstand hits like that? So that's where this financial strength comes into play. So you maybe once a year want to take a look at these things, or if you're looking to maybe want to just do a little bit better on your homeowners insurance. I know we did 2 years ago or something. We took a look around and found some better rates. I didn't work for Weiss Financial Ratings then, so I didn't look at their safety rating. I still haven't done it yet, but we definitely found a better rate for our insurance. So we're going to start to build this screener a little bit more. So we're going to add criteria. And the first thing we'll do is we'll select insurance type. This is taking a while to come up. Sometimes the list comes up and sometimes you have to start typing it in. I have terrible internet service today, so I apologize. It's been very slow. All right, so we've got homeowners insurance. We still need to add some criteria. So because you all are in Connecticut, we want to find insurance companies that provide homeowners insurance and are licensed to do so in the state of Connecticut. So it's licensed in, and then we're going to click again and add criteria and select Connecticut. And there it comes up. And so now we have our universe of insurance companies within the state of Connecticut that provide homeowners insurance. So there's 128 insurance companies. So Let's look at what the heck, Allstate. So again, this is going to look very familiar to you when we were looking at the banks. Capitalization. This is what's different here is the reserve adequacy. So in this case, they're fair. And let's take a look, because reserve adequacy, what exactly does that mean? So let's go to the glossary and click on R and come down here. So reserve adequacy index, adequacy of the company's reserves, funds that the company sets aside to cover unsettled claims that it estimates each year. So again, this is all about that, learning more and more and more as it pertains to your finances. If you're selecting an insurance company and something is only fair or it's weak, one of those criteria, you want to know exactly what that means and how is it going to affect you, because if you need the insurance company 15 years down the road, you want to make sure that after all the money you gave them, that they'll be there for you. So I'll just bounce back here. Again, this is something you could add to your watch list. If you wanted to print this information out, you could click here for report, and it is thinking it downloads into a PDF this information. So all that, it looks different because it's now in a PDF, but this is information. Maybe you file it away, or maybe you're taking it because you're going to meet with your insurance broker. And now I'm not going to be able to get out of this. And it's just information that you may want to have. Now, bear with me a minute because I got to figure out how to get back to what I was looking at. All right. There we go. Oh, that's better. So getting back to our PowerPoint. So we built the screener for a bank. We looked at insurance. Now we're going to look at stocks. So we'll come over here to stocks. Now this, when the page is going to come up, it's going to look a little bit like the banks, credit unions, and insurance companies, but a little different. So with the banks, insurance companies, credit unions, those letter grades and then the pluses and the minuses were each a single bar, whereas with the stocks, mutual funds, and exchange traded funds, they're going to be just sort of by buy, hold, and sell. So when it comes up, it'll give you the stock of the day, and if we were to click on this, it'll take us right out to the summary page for this particular stock. And you can see some of the information. And this is interesting. This is the pricing as it's been going through. Now, we'll look at some other ones, and you'll see that there are some really deep valleys in some of these stocks. So this has been relatively stable compared to some other stocks through the last month or so. And then I want to call your attention up to this line, because you'll see it's got like a little bit of a heartbeat. You'll see that it there it goes. That's because the stock market is active right now. So this is live to the stock market. So as the prices change, you'll see them change here. There's probably a 10 or 15-second delay, but every time that pulses, and if there's a change, if there's trading going on this particular stock and the price is changing, you'll see that price change. So, and again, we're looking at the summary of this stock. You can go into the profile, which will give you a lot more detail of the business description, key stats. This is their, the market cap, enterprise value, a lot of things that perhaps more savvy investors would really know a lot about. I am I have investments, but I don't know a whole lot about them. I work with a financial advisor and trust him, so I'm learning as I go along a lot more now than I knew 6 months ago. But there's a lot of information here, and again, we're talking about that kind of that financial literacy and making sure that you have all the information that you need to make informed decisions when it comes to your finances. So, and again, we've got the glossary here. So you see here the enterprise value, EBITDA. Let's, if you don't know what that is, we'll go here and come down to, here we go. EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So again, lots of information available. Maybe you want to look at stocks that were similar to this West Pharmaceutical Services. So here's a whole list of them. And you could select some of these and do a comparison to the West Pharmaceutical. Just jot down the ticker symbol UNH, ABT, MDT, come over here to comparison, and then you could click here and then you could type in UNH. Sorry. Why didn't I do that? There we go. Maybe you want that ABT, that Abbott. Oh, jeez. Don't you, excuse me. I'm working from my living room and I've got a dog that might bark. So now you can look at these side by side. So those are three that, they all have a B rating. So they're a buy rated stock. And you can see them side by side, which one makes the most sense for me to put my money into. You could do a fourth one. Another thing you do is just a sector comparison, so you can see how this particular West Pharmaceutical stacks up to the entire sector of pharmaceutical. So lots and lots of information depending on how much you want, how deep you want to get into it, and it's a technical chart. There's lots and lots of information here. So just a lot to take a look at. But let's go back and build a screener. It isn't a whole lot different from the banks and the insurance companies, but so remember we said at the beginning, I said that there's that only 1,001 stocks make a buy rating with Weiss, because Weiss is very, very conservative in their ratings. Well, currently there's only 345 stocks that make a buy rating with Weiss, and that's just what's going on in our economy right now because of the coronavirus. Oops. So I'm just going to click here and start to build a screener. And so here we have all the buy rated stocks. And I will say something that I find interesting. This Avery Dennison, for the 3.5 months that I've been working for Weiss Financial Ratings, Avery Dennison comes up as an A+ rated stock every single time. Just in there. You all still hear me?
It says you're talking, but I can't hear you.
All right, something happened here.
Well, now we can hear, at least I can hear you. So you said that the B
Are
is
you
for
there?
buy, C.
Can you hear me
I'm
now?
sorry. I can. What does the A stand for again?
You can hear me?
In and out.
Okay. Hang on just a sec. I apologize. So the A rating is, these are A plus through B minus are buy rated stocks.
Okay.
Okay. The C's, C plus through C minus are hold, and then D plus through E minus are sells. According to Weiss, now that's obviously as you, I don't know, depending on what you know about the stock market, how long you've been involved. Maybe you want to spend some time looking for stocks over here because there's some good buys. I don't know, but at least you can see where they fall within the Weiss ratings. So what we've done here is we have created a list of stocks. There's 340 of them with A plus through B minus rating. And then maybe we want to add some criteria. So and one way you might want to do that is by looking in industry. So let's add some criteria. Maybe it's something in technology. Let's see. Technology, hardware, and equipment. So now we have 10 stocks that maybe you want to take a look at. It's Motorola Solutions. So again, you have the summary page, and it shows you reward and risk ratings, and then what goes into the ratings factors. Its growth has been weak, excellent efficiency, good solvency, fair total return, good in terms of volatility, and fair in terms of dividend. Also, you'll see articles, so when they have appeared in recent articles and headlines, that will be here. Get some information on dividends and shares, balance sheet, income statement, a little bit of information about the company, and then if you really wanted to know more about the company, that would be under the profile. And again, we talked about doing sector comparisons and industry comparisons. Any questions on that?
Can I ask you to look up a specific stock?
Absolutely.
So it's Teva, Teva, because it's also pharmaceutical, and it's finally going up a little bit. It's
Okay.
really dropped in the past year, so I'm just wondering or the past 2 years.
So you have the name?
The ticker symbol is TEVA.
Hang on just a second. I'm sorry, what was the symbol?
TEVA.
Okay.
It's also pharmaceutical.
All right. I got you back on my headset again, so I apologize. It was coming through the computer last time, and I'll actually hear you.
Okay, T as in Tom, E as in elephant, V as in Victor, A as in apple. There you go, the first one.
Yep.
So D is in cell.
Yep. And so, but it's trading, it's up 33 cents. But again, Weiss is very, I will say that they're very conservative in their ratings. So, but I mean, here's again, remember I told you that there's some that have had some really deep valleys in their pricing. So it went all the way down to here, which was the middle of March. And now it's back up here. So
they've had many problems, but now they got a court ruling in their favor, so hence it's going up a little bit.
yep. And, so to me, I mean, if you have some information on that and you feel confident that it's something you would want to invest in, and certainly the price is down. Let's see what it was at its highest. Actually, it's not too much off of what the highest price was. So yeah, I mean, is it a bargain right now, or is it something you want to invest in because you know that it's going to go up and you expect it to do well? Then yeah, to me, if I might do something like that. But it's kind of like,
Warren Buffett says to keep it, and he actually a few months ago bought more. So
yeah,
I'm keeping mine. I don't have a lot, but I've
yeah,
lost a lot of money on them.
yeah. It's kind of like when I go into the store, I go to the sale racks. I might, if I'm looking to buy some stocks, I might go to the Weiss Ratings sell rack
Yeah.
just to look
Okay.
at things up.
Typically because Warren Buffett still likes it, I was wondering.
Yeah. So, any other questions about the stocks or looking something up or making a screener? And in all these things, whether it's a bank or an insurance company, a stock or a exchange traded fund or mutual fund, you can always just type the name in here. If it's just one specific thing that you're looking for, you can always just type it in here on this line up here and pull it up. With the banks, if you're looking for a safety rating for a bank, but it's also a bank that has stocks, you just want to make sure that you're clicking on the right thing, bank or stock or safety rating, investment rating, or safety rating. But otherwise, you can always just type it in here. Otherwise, if you're looking to create, look at a bunch of different things and find something to either an insurance company or whether you're looking for an investment, then you might want to go to the whole universe and using the screener, which is just a way of filtering out the information that you don't want to look at, do it that way. So let's take a quick look at mutual funds, and you'll see that this is going to look a lot like the stocks page. And so a lot in the hold category, some in the sell, and then not as many in the buy. So, but we'll, and again, we have the fund of the day here, some with ratings changes. And by the way, if you clicked here, you'll get the whole list of them that have just had a recent ratings change, whether it was today or within the last couple of days. I don't really know. I think it's every day they create the list of these. And that's it for those. So let's go ahead and start to build a screener.
So the fund of today is the bond fund, the American Funds Bond Fund?
Yep. I don't really know. Let's just back up here and we'll take a look at it. Well, let's take a look at it. Why is it the fund of the day? It's a buy rated, so I just was speaking to somebody today, and if you're maybe if you got a little bit of cash and you're not quite ready to invest, but you don't want to just leave it in a savings bank account because that's the rate of return on that isn't great. Maybe you want to put it in a bond or something like that. So, but let's see. So according to them, the reward is good. The risk is excellent, meaning there's not a lot of risk involved in it. So um, it's open end, doesn't cost you anything to get in. Other than you have to have a minimum of $50 investment, and then each subsequent investment has to be $50, and there's no front end or back end fee. Um, so I don't know a lot about bonds, I will say. But let's go back and build a screener. So the easiest way to do that is just to click on one of the bars. And then let's add some criteria. Let's see. So this would be made up of, have a lot of consumer goods and services within that particular mutual fund. And there's not very many of those. Let's just take a look. And here it shows you what the top holdings are. So as we know, mutual funds are made up of a lot of different stocks. And so these are all of the holdings, and it gives you from the weight. So this is the highest weighting I've ever seen of anything. So it's 25% of Amazon. But these are all consumer goods, so that kind of makes sense. So, and again, you've got the summary. You can look at similar funds. You can do an industry comparison. If you had a couple of funds, if you had similar funds, you wanted to put them side by side, get those ticker symbols and put them in your comparison like we did before with the stocks, I think. And then again, you've got the glossary here if you wanted to look up a term or some information. If this is something that you want to either, maybe you own it and you want to track it, or maybe it's something that you just want to watch it for a while. And so you add it to your watch list. Click here and add it to your watch list. So, so as you see, building a screener for a stocks or mutual fund, very similar. As long as you have certain criteria, you can put it in to just keep adding it to the criteria to build that screener that you want. Exchange traded funds are going to work exactly the same way.
So to add it to your watch list, do you click on this little star thing right under the buy or the sell?
Yep. This little guy right here. If I click on it now, it's going to tell me that I'm not signed in. So here's where you would put in, and that's fine if you just had gotten on there, logged in with your library card, and started going away, and then you want to do something that requires you having your sign in. So this is my sign in for my on the Weiss side of things. You would just do that and click sign in, or right from this page you could go ahead and sign up. So just click that and create your personal account. And again, nobody can see any of the information in your personal account. They can't see what your watch list is. The only thing that you'll ever receive from us related to this is upgrades or downgrade emails when it tells you that there's been a change in something. So other than that, you'll never hear from anybody.
I don't know if I don't live in Berlin. I don't know if our library, but I'll have to check them.
What? What do you mean?
Um, I
Oh, I
live in
see.
Newington. Yeah.
What's the library in Newington? I think I actually Connecticut. Is that Lucy Robbins Wells? Is that Newington?
Yes.
Okay. They are a subscriber.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
So if you have a library card there, you could do the same thing there. I don't know. I haven't gone in to look at their site to see exactly how you log in, but it's going to be very similar. So
Yeah.
anyway, let's we'll back up here. So here there's only 64 buy rated ETFs. So just for the sake of argument, just we can actually pull something up. Let's go to the hold ETF so we get a little bit more to look at, and then add some criteria. So let's get category. So these are all of the exchange traded funds. Let's just get them in the commodities, precious metals category. So you see all of these, and then my neighbor used to work for Credit Suisse, so I'll click there. Good a reason as any. So again, you get the summary page, and wow, this is the performance. So back in November, it was down here, started to work its way up, took that nice dive in mid-March that everything did, and then it's worked its way back up again. So that's very interesting. I don't know overall what that means, but it's interesting to look at. So again, you can find out what their top holdings are. Oh, there's none. Okay. Look at similar ETFs. That's not the one we're looking at. Oh, no. This is gold. So then they have one for silver, which isn't doing as well. Price history, um, industry comparison, and again, the glossary. And of course, if you wanted to create a report, you would click here. If you want to add it to a watch list, you could click there. And as long as you're logged in, as we said, you would get that added to your watch list. The other thing that's available to you here are articles, and these are changing daily. And as we start to, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the market, the stock market, and other areas. So there's always going to be articles here and information that you can read, learn more, and as we start to come out of this, whatever we want to call it, there'll be information here that will help you and guide you perhaps to things that you want to do in terms of your investing strategies or banking, or whatever it may be. So these are top articles here. And that's all I have. Do you all have any questions for me?
It seems like I'm the only one that asked questions today.
That's all right.
I don't.
I don't know if you had heard earlier, I've been taping these presentations because I had a bunch to do in Chicago, which I wasn't able to make the trip. So I've been sitting here alone in my living room doing these presentations with no questions back and forth or anything. So it's nice to have people on the other end of the line.
Oh, cool. But I'm glad that I was here to ask questions.
I am too. So that's that's all I have. And like I said, if you have any questions, I'm happy to stay on the line. If not, you can all go back to sheltering in place, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you. You all have a great day.
Thanks again.